Hi guys, welcome to the Man United Agenda. It's 9 o'clock. It's Tuesday, and we're getting closer and closer to the Premier League. It's back very soon. I'm joined by Rebel, joined by Mr. B, and I'm back with some tooting and going on in the background, but it doesn't matter. Join us. We've got some good subjects tonight. Tune in. Welcome everyone to the Man United Agenda. Yes, we're back. It's international break, as we know, and these guys have been filling in, doing a wonderful job. I don't know if you guys have been watching much international football. I was just watching the under-21s, by the way. There's no Man United players in there. And yesterday, I noticed there was 3 or 4 Man City players in the senior squad as well. But I did a Harry Maguire watch yesterday. He seemed to do pretty well. Any more results going around Europe for Man United players or the world football?
I don't care about international football. I have absolutely no idea about them. So apologies. You caught me off guard there, mate.
I'm just keeping an eye out for any falling concrete.
Falling concrete.
On Monday, you've been away. During the ladies' game on Sunday, they had pictures of concrete falling
from
the stadium. Yes.
Oh my God.
And
the
story today is that 2 people were struck and they're currently preparing a case.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Somebody fix that stadium ASAP. Want to big up Stephanie Griffiths in the house. United used to be decisive, but Glazer United is not so sure. Diver, delay, distractions, deflections. That's from Stephanie Griffiths. Big up to Black Bolt. He says, all the way from America, by the way. New York. Oh my, more delays. That's shocking. Must be the fax machine out of paper. All right, folks. Happy to see Andrew Williams. How you doing, Andrew Williams? Big up to Matthew Bassett as well. I hope you're doing well. Big up to Bath Time. It's the lads and me. Yes, big up Bath Time. I hope you're doing well. And everyone in the chat, from Matthew Bassett, DK Wilson, another Yankee in the house. Say good evening, fellas, and good evening all. Thank you very much. Laughing from Rebel. Yeah, serious. Is that a true story then about the concrete falling from the stadium? Yeah. Wow. So does everyone have to now officially wear hard hats when they go to the with Man United written on it, maybe? Get painting, guys. Get spray painting. We can make a little. You know what? That's a great idea. Why don't we start selling hard hats with Man United agenda on them?
Oh my God!
Jesus Christ.
All right, never mind. I'm always looking for good business ideas, but someone who to talk about business is our Rebel, because there's been a lot going on with the takeover, and sooner rather than later, yeah. Well, what's the latest? What do we know? Because obviously you guys have been keeping up day by day, doing brilliantly. But what's the latest with this takeover now, Rebel?
So, as you know, we had stories coming out last week that there was going to be a deal done on Thursday. Then it was yesterday. Then it was today. Then it was before Thanksgiving. So the current story is that the Telegraph's claim that there's frustrations growing and that there's fears that the club's January transfer plans could be binned because it's not expected that the takeover deal will be done in time. Now, what does this mean? Folks, we are aware that there is NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, in place. And that goes for sources, those participating in the discussions, aka the Glazer family, and those that are bidding, those that are mediating those discussions, aka the Rain Group, and whatever representatives from Premier League and English FA are present. So the reality is there's nothing being released to the general public, that is ourselves, that can be any way verified, because nobody is going to quantify anything. What else can we take from that? They say 25% is what Sir Jim Ratcliffe is going buying. Based on what we've been told about these days when the takeovers are taking place, we don't know that. It could be 40%. Kermit the Frog could be buying 100%. There's absolutely no tangible evidence for anything other than that we know that Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Enos Group are interested parties. That is as much as can be verified when it comes to Sir Jim. That he's an interested party and that he's involved in the process. Nothing else. What does it mean for us in January transfer window? If they're close, maybe then by result of future partnership, maybe the Glazers will release some of their money with the expectation that they'll get it back when
The
the deal
club's
is
money.
concluded. Well, but they can put in 90 odd million of their own money in order to ensure that we remain compliant with financial fair play. And obviously, if there's a sale taking place, it's a kind of a short-term 90 million being leveraged into the club.
Rebel, for bloody 20 years they put no money in, and you think 2 weeks before they're going to sell up, they're going to put money in?
But they wouldn't be putting money in it. Again, I'm playing the hypothesis of a partial sale with the idea that it would have been Sir Jim putting in the money if the deal was done.
I get it.
Because when you look at it, we now have stuff happening about Tottenham Hotspur and financial fair play today, something around the Jermaine Defoe deal. We have Manchester City in their bum-clot load of charges. We have Chelsea and their self-grasping of themselves in regards to the Roman era. There's many clubs that are in deep doo-doo. But in regards to the takeover, we have what we call darts being thrown at the dartboard. Because nobody really can say that they know anything 100%. Because if you ask them to show their receipts, nothing.
Just concrete falling from the thing.
Exactly.
Which means nothing. Turns to dust. Concrete turns to dust. It falls from a great height, doesn't it? I just want to say it's about marginal gains, isn't it? And that's a key word at the moment. One of my good friends is reading the book right now. Just mentioned to me, knows nothing about football. Just talking. Oh, I'm reading this book, and it's about marginal gains. It's about the guy that's coming in. Who's so successful with the other cycling and the other sports as well. And I'm really excited about that. I just think it's a bit of a coincidence, more than a coincidence, that he brought it up to me about this guy and he's reading his book, and so recommended I read the book as well, which I will. And I like what I must say. I've been away for a while, but I do like the strategy, the team, the things that I'm hearing about. Obviously, we are taking marginal gains towards a takeover. It will happen sooner or later, as Rebel was saying there. But I just think the people, the team in place, is like the A team. You know, when you're in doubt, when you're in trouble, you call the A team. And it looks like Sir Jim Ratcliffe is compiling the A team together, a team that's going to take us forward. Got the Clive Woodward of cycling coming in, and people are going to turn our club around with baby steps, you know, on the performance level and on other levels as well. The marginal gain story is really quite interesting, though, isn't it? About how to get success. That anyone doing anything, whether it's in your work life or as coaches, as we are, Mr. B, taking little minor steps towards little things. So every week I add a little bit of Lenore to when I'm washing the kit, you know. So when the guys put the kit on, it smells a bit better. Maybe it gives them a bit more positivity. These are marginal gains, you know, and it might seem minute, but in the long run, they make it take effect. And I think it'd be really interesting to follow this story about the guy dealing with the marginal gains, and if he comes to the clubs, what he's gonna bring to the club as well. So I'm not feeling well, but OMONDI just finding out about concrete is the best medicine. Big up. So your thoughts, Mr. B, on this takeover? I know you've been discussing it a lot. I know you're sighing there, and you've
had it's boring the shit out of me. I'll be honest. I just, like anything else with Man United do, whether it's a transfer, it always takes ages. You get excited in the beginning, and then it just drags on and drags on and drags on. We waited what's it been, a year and a day now, or a year today, that we announced that we're up for sale, and nothing's happening. So it's not. I'm not getting excited. I just want some news that isn't hearsay or isn't Twitter talking or X talking. I just want some concrete news. Get it, concrete news about what's happening, and then we can move on. It's long. I mean, look, even if he comes in tomorrow, are we gonna have money in January? I know Rebel was talking about a backhanded 90 million. to get our financial thingy, to move our FFP off. But I'm just not this too long for me on Monday. I just want the football to come back so we can talk about football.
Just to clarify, this whole news about Spurs, I had a little investigation earlier, and it turns out it's to do with Mitchell Thomas. Do you remember him? Luton Town, Spurs, West Ham player. He wasn't an agent. He wasn't a registered agent. He was the one who was involved in the deal. They had to go to the highest court to get phone call records to evidence that. This is 2008. I mean, they've been really doing some investigation here, haven't they? Going way back that far to prove something. But there's other clubs in 2008. I think it was Luton Town as well, who also got fined a lot of points and deducted points, 10 points, I think it was back then, for the same offence or similar offence as well. So it looks like somebody out there is like employed Colombo or the football equivalent of Colombo to solve all these previous cases. So nobody's safe. If you've been up to any no good, you better watch your back. George Graham, 1994, whatever it was, you got done. We might be coming back for you again. That case might be reopening again. So anyone out there, don't sleep. Sleep with one eye open, because whoever it is investigating all this stuff now. We are coming for you. Do you think there's a bit of injustice, Rebel, about, because I'm hearing a lot of people saying that how come other club Everton can be done, but we're still waiting for a team like City or Chelsea who seem to be openly getting away with stuff? Is that to do with finance, them having lawyers and top lawyers to back them?
I suppose what we're looking at here is that Everton were charged and found guilty of an offence. At the moment, City are suspected of 110, 115 charges. They have not, as of yet, been found guilty of any of them. So I think what the key is, not so much that Everton have been through the system, because it's obviously going to be a lot easier to deal with a singular charge than 115. It'll be that once due process is gone through, what will be the significant outcome in terms of Manchester City? Will they receive a punishment that is commensurate to what Everton received? A lot of people would feel that the Everton 10-point deduction was quite harsh, but if that is the bar, if that is the low ball, that means then you have to be looking at 30, 40, multiple renegations.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they'll relegate them. I think they'll give them a points deduction. I mean, it would be lovely for them to get like a 50 points. Not disrespect, but then because the thing is, the Premier League aren't going to want to lose their money, so they're not going to relegate them because they're going to want them to play for the season. But at the same time, they're going to want to make it so that it affects maybe where they finish in the league. So, they might get a 30 point points reduction, in which case then they're not going to get relegated because Man City aren't going to lose their players. They're still going to be beat, but then they're going to be 30 points behind, so then they're going to be out of Europe for one season or maybe 2 seasons. You understand? So maybe it's to slow them down, if you see what I mean.
Okay, some points here. Just read out a few comments here about all of this. You guys seem to know a lot what's going on. We're going to come on to the second subject, which is Varane, very soon. But we're talking about finances and the takeover, as Rebels just brilliantly spoke about. It's, Andrew Williams saying here, United under Blanc, Brailsford, Mitchell, not 100%. It will work. But I'm overwhelmingly confident that these guys are first class. And he goes on to say, I was always a pessimist, but I follow UK cycling. So Brailsford is a genius. He knows about his track record, guys. Andrew Williams saying here, Paul Mitchell, we should have employed him 2 years ago. Proven track record as well. Big up to We Deserve Better, and we certainly do. Yes, Brailsford is a top of his game when it comes to marginal games. Doping anyone? He's asked a question. Last I say, smelling like mountains for football matches more than a marginal game. It's a requirement for sure. Andrew Williams saying here, it's not just the marginal gains. He's fantastic at measuring performance and consistency and improving it. And his model is being patented all over the world. He's been really successful. We Deserve Better says that's all United need: more soiled controversy in suit at our club. Rajat, how you doing? We said Man City won't be relegated. Their money will talk, as it seems right now. Once again, We Deserve Better says City have deeper pockets and bigger brown envelopes than the Prem. And Andrew Williams, that he got a nod here from Rebel for this comment. He said UEFA blew it going too quickly. City got away with it. What's he mean by this, Rebel?
Basically, City or the UEFA bolted into their investigation of City, and they muddied the waters. And unfortunately for them, then it took away their opportunity to follow the due process. And he's saying that because of the way that UEFA crapped the bed, that the FA are taking their time and they're going through it inch by inch to ensure that they don't leave any box holes for people to bolt.
Okay. Also, Andrew Williams saying the FA try not to make the same mistake. Everton have been cooking the books for a long time, worse than anybody, says Andrew Williams. Andrew Williams again is saying they're outright fraudulent. We deserve better, saying Everton have been used to make an example of. Chelsea will get their knuckles dusted, City laughing all the way to the bank. Is that really true, guys? I've noticed when you look at the boxing situation, some top guys get banned, but they don't get the grilled as much. Like Conor Benn, for example, he's back boxing and he's getting away with it. Doesn't have to defend himself. But other
What did he? What was that? Eggs? Was that the eggs one?
Yeah, exactly. Raja saying here, wait. Why do Man United need three CEOs or directors at the club? Doesn't know. Asking the question. Do we know John Murtaugh is 100% leaving as well? Is expected?
They said he's staying.
Oh, is that what they're saying?
I mean, look, nobody knows anything. But today, I'm sure I saw in more than one place that he might be staying.
Can I ask you guys, are we optimistic, considering where we come from when we're talking about the Sheikh Shazim was coming in, and now that's gone out the window? And we've got over that, haven't we? Everyone's got over that. And are we sort of optimistic about what's going to happen with this 25% and what that leads to and the future of the club overall? People in the know.
You go ahead, Mr. B. I'll finish up that.
Cool. It's a win-win for the Glazers on Monday. If he does what he wants to do on the pitch, they're going to make their money, and then he might not be able to afford. See, nobody knows what the figures are. So until those things comes out, everything is just maybe guessing. But it's a win-win. If he muffs it up, then it wasn't their fault. They weren't on the playing side of it. And if he does well, then it generates more money for them, and then they're going to get the whatever billions each that they wanted in the first place. So I don't know.
Okay.
I think the reality is on Monday. The story is about Murtaugh, just to take that as an example. One story is saying that he's in, he's staying. One is saying that he's going. The reality is, if Murtaugh wants his severance pay, he's going to keep on saying he's staying regardless of what the actual position is, because he has to show that he has no intention to void his contract. I think what we've learned from this debacle, we still don't know whether it's 25% or whether it's more than 25%. Until the fat lady sings, aka the Rain Group, or until we see BATHTIME's famous SEC filing, ain't nada going to be done out here. We have to wait, and we have to get that official checkered flag. And speaking of waiting, the Ireland manager's job is coming up as available in about 30 minutes, because Stephen Kenny is about to be turfed out in his ear. And gentlemen, even though you're only part-time coaches, we can offer 4 cheeseburgers an hour and a severance or remuneration package of about $5,000, because our FA is absolutely bleeding strapped. Any interest?
No, thank you. No, thanks, Rebel. Yeah. No, thank you. It's all right. I'll stay here. Thank you very much.
But it's true though. We had Jack Charlton, an Englishman who took over Republic of Ireland. Would we be accepted? Two brothers like us over in Ireland?
Well, if you can do what the great man, Mr. Jack Charlton, done, then you will get your amnesty as Patricus, even though you are Englishmen, because all we will care about is getting that team into those major finals. Jack did an absolutely amazing job with that team. We had the famous victories, we had the almost victories, and for a nation of our side to go to quarterfinals of World Cup, that was unheard of. I think he got us to 3 major tournaments in a row.
Wow.
Jack is the honorary Irishman at this stage.
Wow. Yeah, a salute to Jack Charlton. Fantastic. I mean, these days it's about tiki-taka, but he was all about toe punting and long ball. Yeah, I remember a game. I mean, you beat in the Euros in 88, didn't you? You beat England, Ray Houghton. Then 1990, obviously, went to beat Romania, got to the quarterfinals. And then
David Leary's
94,
penalty.
yeah, David O'Leary. And then in 94, beat Italy at the Yankee Stadium, baseball stadium. Fantastic run of results. And mainly done by English manager and English players as well, mind you. Andy Townsend and Taco. Anyway, DK Wilson saying here, Murtagh, he doesn't know anything about leaving. Meanwhile, there are reports saying he's gone. It seems like Murtagh's pulling a Harry Kane. Half-time saying, just add a comma and become OMONDI. Wales playing Turkey, 2 Stonewall penalties. That's from Andrew Williams, first half. VAR didn't even look at them. Turkey just had one of the softest penalties ever given to them. And we're playing in Turkey very soon. So we'll be discussing that in the coming weeks. We deserve better, the Telegraph reported. Murtagh expects to play a part in the transition under Ratcliffe and is hopeful he will be kept beyond that. So reports coming in all the time about Murtagh. And but I just think it's time for a new guard. Someone mentioned that earlier, didn't they? And talking about new guards, I mean, Evans.
Can I just say, very clever reference from Andy Williams there on the Lethal Weapon. Riggs and Murtagh.
Oh, good. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Riggs and Murtagh, yes. Murtagh, the Black Irishman, which we could be if we managed, me and Mr. B managed Ireland as well. They would love us. Anyway, talk about new guards.
All for cheeseburgers and euros.
Yeah.
So, yeah, go on.
Oh, dear. Evans and Maguire have been a new guard recently, edging out the great Champions League multiple-time winner Varane, who's also retired from international football. Now, Varane, a lot of people would suggest that he's probably one of our best centre-backs, and he's got a great career so far. But for some reason, over the last few weeks, the manager seems to be dropping him. And there's sort of few indications here that maybe, just maybe, he's looking at a Saudi move, or more recently, there was talk about Bayern Munich being interested. I can't remember how much we paid for Varane, but he came with a big price tag, I do recall. So what do we know about this deal and the rumours going on here? Because the evidence is, one, he hasn't been playing games, even though he's been fit. Now, this has never happened in his Man United career before. Whenever he's been fit, he plays. That's how it's tended to be. But Johnny Evans has played, and the excuse was the manager wanted 2 ball-playing centre-backs. So what does that suggest about Varane? And also, the rumours coming out since then about he could go to Saudi Arabia. Now, Saudi Arabia could be a saviour for a lot of clubs when you're looking to get rid of players, because there's always that option now. They're not afraid to pay the money. And then we're looking, oh, my God, look at this career stats here of this player. So what are your thoughts, Mr. B, on one of your favourite defenders? I'm sure of it. I know Harry Maguire isn't. About him possibly leaving, and what's the situation? What do you smell?
I'm beginning to smell a rat. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't understand how he claimed that it was tactical, why he played Maguire and Evans in the games, and he's made it public. I don't understand what he's seeing in training, or maybe Varane's not putting it in training. But we had this discussion the other day about how hard he pushes players in training after they've played a game. Varane knows his body. We already know he's injury prone. But I'm wondering if they are trying to ease him out. Obviously, we do know about the English quota. What we losing 1 player short, and next season with Højlund becoming a 21-year-old, it scuppers a lot of Man United's squad dynamics. But I don't understand it, and I'm wondering if there's no smoke about fire. I mean, I heard a couple of rumors today, a couple of things on that. You listen to bits and pieces as you do, and they're quoting at between 17 and 25 now. If you're quoting between 17 and 25, they're going to pay 17 for him because that's what Man United do. We're not gonna get the top end of it. What would the replacement be for 17 million if that was the case? And surely Varane's not the player who needs to be replaced in January. I'm confused. I mean, I'm looking at what he's won. All right, he hasn't won much for Man United, but he still won stuff for us. And he's only 30 years old. I don't understand what's going on Monday. Please, somebody needs to explain to me what's going on.
Rebel, what's your thoughts on this? Because obviously he's well decorated as a player, hasn't played last couple of games. Could you just explain to him why you feel he hasn't been playing last couple of games? And he's retired from international football as well, so it's not like during the international break he's going to get taxed for getting injuries and that kind of thing. So what's going on with Varane in your book?
Yeah, it's definitely a very strange set of circumstances. The way that he fell out of the team, the way that after even kind of clearing the air in the media that he didn't seem to be in favour still. There's just, as Mr. B rightly pointed out, something's happening in the background that has caused a wedge somewhere, whether it's between Varane and the manager, or Varane and certain other members of the first team squad, or whether Ten Hag's been truthful and the alleged tactics, at least to his mindset, is the reason why Varane has fallen beyond favour. What we do know is we paid 40 million euros for Rafael Varane's services from Real Madrid at the time. We're the figure that's been quoted, as Mr. B pointed out, comes in at roughly 20 million euros. So that's a 50% haircut in what, a year and a half, 2 years, which is a big wedge of cash to be taking as a hit. Now, obviously, Bayern Munich, they're a club that is looking for Champions League success this year. And the fact that they are fishing means that they are looking to bolster their squad to get them hitting on all fronts on the Bundesliga, Champions League, and the Del Pokal, which is the German FA Cup, essentially. So, is it a surprise that they want somebody of the caliber of Rafael Varane? Absolutely not, because he is a proven Champions League winner, and even off the pitch, he would provide a level of experience, calmness that would drift across the squad room. Now, the question is, why does that calm and that leadership not drift across the Manchester United squad? Why is he being marginalised? Whatever about Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire is still an England international. Johnny Evans is a man that was bought essentially to sit on the bench and to provide cover in certain limited games where necessary. Martinez, obviously, we lost him to injury, but that meant then you'd have expected Maguire, Lindelof, and that man, Rafael Varane, would have been taking the lion's share of duties at the centre back partnership. And obviously, Luke Shaw kind of in and out of left back and left centre back when he was fit. It was never, I'd imagine, in the plan for Johnny Evans to get the number of minutes that he has gotten. And nobody can ever say that Johnny Evans, at 35, 36 years of age, put forward training performances that flipped the manager's opinion of him on his head. It's just not credible. It's about as credible as the reports on the takeover in the media.
Okay, can I suggest to you, I'm going to put it to you now, and this is my opinion on the matter. I don't think it's
I'll be
going to be
waiting
huge
for this one.
Barthime's asking, I want to hear Mondi's talk why Varane isn't our best defender in Ten Hag's view. I'll just give my view. I can only speculate about Ten Hag. I don't think it'd be a huge loss losing Varane. I don't think he's been the best defender coming in. And when you compare great defenders over the years, we've had Rio Ferdinand, Jaap Stam. Those guys had impact. Even Vidic as well. A lot of people like him. But I think with Varane, I think a lot of hype came with his name. We've had time to judge him and watch him. And I don't think it's be a huge loss for him to leave. He's quick. He shepherds people out away from play. He does that really well. But in the English game as well, you need to have other attributes. I don't think he's a leader. Doesn't talk that much. And doesn't inspire for me as a centre-back. He's not that sort of defender who's going to put his head in where it hurts, even though he does a good job. But I just feel that it wouldn't be too much of a loss at his age. Get rid of him now. Get him off the wage bill. 30 years old. He's injury-prone, and he's looking to retire. He's retired already from international football with that mindset. there's no competitiveness in him again. He walks into our side, tends to. Maybe the manager here is thinking, make him. He's lost the edge. He's lost the eye of the tiger. And how do you get the eye of the tiger back? You make it competitive. Look at the French defense that they have at the moment. They've got so many great players: Konate, Saliba. They've got the Bayern Munich centre back as well. He retired maybe because he realised I can't fight these guys off anymore. They're too much. They're coming for me. So he's lost that competitive edge. He thinks, right, I'll just play football, Man United, walk into the side every week and just play my football. But he's not inspiring. He's not providing that leadership quality when really doing poor. He's a great so-called defender who hasn't made any sort of major difference to us. And I believe we're leaking goals left, right, and centre. And you expect someone like Varane, if he had that sort of ability, if he was that good, to sort of put a stop to that, put a plug into those gaps, at least show something. I think we've seen more from Martinez impact-wise than we have from Varane. Martinez scoring that goal against Arsenal, the equalising goal at the Emirates, coming in, short man, dogged, the butcher, ragged, getting on the fans love him already, based on his desire, his fight, that kind of thing. He's got something to prove. He's showing it. Varane's strolling out there like a Rolls Royce from the 1980s, which has got like 200,000 miles on the clock and is ready for retirement. Be sitting in some classic car museum, and say, look at me. I think it's time for him to go. I'm not inspired too much. And Rebel, I know you're going to counter me here, but I think he's lost his mojo. I think it's time for Varane to go. If you can get the money, take it and get someone younger, fresher, and hungrier in.
Okay, OMONDI, can I ask you, so honestly, with your chest puffed, your eyes looking straight into the eye of the camera, that you're honestly saying that Johnny Evans is a more credible and viable alternative next to Harry Maguire than Raphael Varane? Is that what you're telling us?
I never said those words, but if you're asking, the manager seems to think so. And I just think sometimes about partnerships. Sometimes he said, just what the manager said. The manager said he wants two ball-playing defenders when put on the spot about why Evans and Maguire seem to be playing. And we've seen a couple games now where they've played together, a couple clean sheets. Aren't we on the best form team at the moment in the league? So there's these stats don't lie. But when we look at them playing together, Evans strolls out there. They're both English. They can get along. They can talk. They can, get along.
Johnny Evans ain't English. He's Northern Irish.
Well, all right. He speaks kind of English, a bit like you, pidgin English, like you do, you Irishman. And I think what we're seeing here is a combination which works, which gives us experience as well. I think if you're paying all this money for someone and you're not having that desired impact, like I was saying with Varane, you're not getting that. I think maybe you can play Evans and maybe give Varane a kick up the backside and say, look, man, we're dropping you for a 35-year-old guy who got relegated last year, hasn't got half the medals you've got. What are you going to do about it? So sometimes the managers, to get a rocket up someone's arse, you have to sort of try little things like this. And I think it's a good strategy because we can say, look, we can take you or leave you, bro. If you want to prove you're the man out here, come out and be a leader and take us to top 4 again. If not, we're prepared to let you go. I think that's a good strategy right now to show. And I think the manager's showing once again, why he's a good manager, why he's not worried about reputations or anything like that. It's about performance. And I think based on it, you guys on the panel and in the comments as well, cannot tell me that Varane has been a superb performer, super outrageously superb performer, as his credentials show, and as all his accolades show, that he hasn't transferred that over to being at Man United. Look at the goals we're leaking. Look at the struggles we're having.
Have you finished talking absolute shite on Monday? I'm sorry. For the last 4 minutes and 35 seconds, you have spoken bollocks, bro. I'm sorry. Solo, apologies for the language. On Monday, you sat there with a straight face saying that we had what he's won up. We had the stats up, bro. We had this stuff up. Yeah, this is what we had up. You are going to sit there with a straight face and say to me that we are a better team with Varane not playing. You are.
No. Can you go back to the stats? Let's put these stats up. What's he won for Man United? All this is all 2010, 2010s.
Okay, so he's what? Which shows his class. It shows his class. Would Evans get into the Real Madrid football team at any stage of his career?
Mr. B, I heard in the 1990s, you were the top man in the dance floor.
Who was?
You were the top man on the dance floor in the 1990s. Now you're not doing it, you know? So, you know, you're not the man you used to be either. Don't try that one.
On Monday, you can't honestly tell us whatever
You
about
can't
Harry
compare me.
Maguire.
You can't compare my dancing ability to Varane's football ability. Yeah, both of our needs have probably gone to a certain extent. Yes, granted, but there was a lot of things that I did. I'm sorry, Monday. I can't. I really can't have that. I can't. You've seen. Even in the England international recently, where Maguire should have given away the penalty, right?
Oh, yeah.
He has so much limitations to his game. You're going to sit there with a straight face and say to me that he's a better in our team than Varane. Forget about what Varane has won. Just forget about what he's run. I'm talking about how he reads things on the pitch, how he guides players. You're talking about pidgin English and English. Varane speaks fucking English. Yeah, let's not get it twisted. He speaks it with a French accent, but he speaks English. So it's got nothing to do with that. I'm amazed. I am, honestly, I'm absolutely stunned by what you're saying.
And do you know what the most frightening thing is, Mr. B? It's not even that we're arguing Varane versus Maguire. We're arguing Varane versus bloody Evans.
Guys, I'll ask you again because you keep sort of swerving my answers here. My question, sorry. What has Varane blown it up with the credentials he came, all the accolades he came with? Has he blown it up and shored us out? When Virgil van Dijk signed for Liverpool, that was the final key they needed to sort of lock things up at the back and make them successful. There's been no change as far as I'm concerned with having Varane in the back. Now, I'm not disrespecting him. He was a great player, but he's injury prone and he hasn't made a difference at Manchester United Football Club. Okay, there's been times when we needed him, he hasn't been available. I know Rebel's the man with stats, but if you look at the percentage of games that he's missed over the years, there's been quite a few games he's missed, you know, due to his injury proneness. So for one, is a no-no for me. Secondly, is he that good on the pitch? Yeah, he's decent, he's very good, but is he someone who's going to be carrying us to finals and to winning things and being successful? I haven't seen that from him. And I expect more from Varane based on what credentials he's got. And that's all I'm saying here. Good player, but at the moment, I think it's right, the manager, because it's the manager who's dropped him, not me. I think it's right the manager's dropped him to sort of say to everyone else, no one's safe around here. It doesn't matter what your history is. You can't say, what they call it, Champions League Varane. What Champions League?
Okay.
Not winning the plus, is he? You know?
So if Varane, if this so-called plan that Ten Hag has backfires and Varane gets lost in January, do you think we're going to be in a better position not having Varane in our squad by having Evans and Maguire played every game?
Quite possibly, yeah. Long term, we could be. When you think about it, where's Varane's not getting any better, is he? He's not getting any better.
Is Johnny Evans?
Well, yeah, Johnny's a stopgap. We know that, stopgap. But we know we're looking at the guy from Nice. We were looking at the Chelsea defender from Monaco who could sign for him. We were looking at a criteria player that's young, under 25, and with potential to grow. We were looking at Kim, God damn it, at Bayern Munich before he left, before Bayern Munich, you know, from Napoli. So that's the criteria player we're looking for. So when we got a short-term players like Casemiro, who's not going to be there, you know, you can't expect him to be there playing until 35. They're on the decline, these guys. So short-term measures, yeah, we got third place and we won a trophy with that experience. But long-term, with the strategy, as we start this, guys, we start the show, we're talking about the new owners and the strategy involved in that. The strategy will be, when you talk about Mitchell and guys like that coming in, let's get in players that will have that hunger, be at the right age, and have a successful career at Man United, and not turn up getting these ready-made players who are injury-prone and sometimes get suspended too long, like Casemiro. That's what I'm saying here. It won't be too much of a loss, in my opinion, because he hasn't been too much of a gain since he's been at the club.
I'm stunned.
Andrew Williams saying here he was outstanding last year, Varane, for us. And he's also saying here Varane has more Champions League titles than Maguire and has good performances in the last 3 years. Varane has been ropey, but over how many games? That's the question mark. He did stand out in our loss to Liverpool. What did we lose? 7-0. How can you stand out in a game when you lose 7-0? Varane's English is as good as it gets. Eloquent, thoughtful, passionate, just like his defending. That's from We Deserve Better. And we do deserve better than Varane. I agree with you there. Varane is saying, sorry, Rajiji saying here, Varane has more trophies than Tottenham in the last 10 years, but not at our club. We had a great defence last season. We lead the league in clean sheets. That's with the Gehring goal as well. Couple more here. Still sounds like Varane had a problem with Sunday full-blooded training when he didn't play on Saturday. Big no-no with Eric Ten Hag. That's from Jeff. Big up, Jeff. How you doing? To be fair, Evans is a left-sided centre-back. The competition is between Varane and Maguire, not Varane and Evans. So maybe we should change this argument, and Maguire would be winning that one too. And OMONDI, I respect your knowledge, but I disagree with your assessment. That's fine. Big up to you. I respect you as well, Black Bolt. And we deserve better saying Maguire and Evans did a sterling job against City, didn't they? And that's obviously being sarcastic from We Deserve Better. Big up. Mr. Bean's speechless. He's done.
I am Monday. I am. You've been away for a few days and you've come back and I just
right. Put it to the comments, guys. Put it to the comments. Has Varane, guys, since we've been at the club, has Champions League Varane been that guy, had the impact as Virgil van Dijk had at Liverpool? Has he had that sort of impact, or has he come along and just been strolling out there and accepting B-class level for Manchester United, which is not good enough? Answer the question, guys. If you really just say, has he been right? Has he been a success? Has he been Has he been to the standard which you rate him? Has Varane been to the standard of which you rated him before he arrived? Champions League Varane. Has he shown Champions League Varane at Manchester United Football Club? I'm putting it to you guys on the panel. I'm putting it to everyone in the comments as well. Answer me that. Has he been Champions League Varane at Manchester United?
I'm going to say yes.
Has he been that player?
I'm going to say yes.
What's he done that's so Champions League?
What hasn't he done? It's the rest of the team. His job, I think he's done fine. The jobs that he's had. How much errors does he make? How much error? Right, he did make an error the other day against Copenhagen, granted. But how much errors in a game does he make?
Good question. Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. You, I don't know if it was bath time. We were talking about wingers not losing the ball. He loves Garnacho because he doesn't lose the football. There's parts of Varane's game that are exceptional on Monday, exceptional, and even his bad bits I still think are better than Maguire or Evans' good bits. That's the part that I get. So he's seen it all, he's done it all, but for him to have given up international football, I think showed his dedication to Man United. That was my feeling. That was my feeling at the time, and I'm still convinced he's dedicated. You're talking about it being a kick up the arse from Ten Hag. It could well be. It could well be. But it then depends on how Varane reacts to that again. But I don't believe playing a player of such... The gap between the two defenders, I think, is too high on Monday. The drop-off is too much. That's what I feel. The drop-off is too much. So, Varane plays every week for me. Varane plays every week.
It's interesting as well that when during this captain debate we've had over the last couple of years, no one's ever mentioned that Varane should be captain. Just by the way, Rebel, we got some comments here, but what's your thoughts? Well, I'm going to flash them up.
Just kind of briefly.
Obviously, let's just remind you what the question is. Has he been the Champions League Varane standard for Manchester United Football Club?
Essentially, Monday, what you're asking us is, what do I think of pasta carbonara made in Italy, sitting down in the middle of Rome, eating it, and some crap that I take out of a freezer here in Ireland? Like, we cannot judge the impact of Van Dijk at Liverpool. Van Dijk is not selectable for Manchester United Football Club. Kim is not selectable for Manchester United Football Club. At the moment, Lindelof, Maguire, Johnny Evans, the stopgap player that was only brought on to be a depth charge at fifth choice, and Varane are the four choices. And you cannot honestly tell me that he is third, fourth choice in the pecking order. It just does not make sense. I know Ten Hag says that he wants a left-footed player playing on the left side of his central defence, but the reality is, when you only have certain players available to you because of injuries, like Luke Shaw and Martinez are not available to us, Luke Shaw hopefully soon, you have to make sacrifices. And if that means shoving Maguire back out on the left or Varane onto the left, those are the things that you have to do. But you put your best defenders on the pitch. And our best two centre backs that are available to us right now are Harry Maguire and Varane. Evans was never designed to play more than 15, 20 minutes maybe at the end of a game and a couple of League Cup games. He was not supposed to be playing the role that he's playing. He's 35 years of age and he's looking gassed because the legs aren't there.
Great comments. So I'm just going to read some comments because really interesting this discussion here. So Jiley's saying here, Varane has been injured way too much since coming to United. So that's a negative from him. Without Varane, we would not have finished third last season or won a cup. That's from We Deserve Better. Speculating, but it could be true. That's a good point. You want a defender who can play week in, week out. Big up Hydro. I totally agree with you. You don't break up partnerships. You need solidity in there in centre back. Jeff, how you doing? Said without Martinez or Shaw's partner, Varane has been exposed. So he needs good players around him. He's not that guy who's going to take it by the scruff of the neck. I'm adding words, but I believe that's what he's saying. Bathtime is saying he's been disappointed for me. He hasn't shown the quality enough. Been injured a lot. Doesn't impose himself on the squad or games enough for me. That's on Bathtime. Respected Bathtime. Andrew is saying here, no, he has not had the same impact as Virgil, but not all on Varane. He's not blaming Varane. We Deserve Better saying he's been a 7 or 8 out of 10 player most games. For us, that's from We Deserve Better. Can't argue that too much. He would be a 9 out of 10 if he was fit every game. He plays 3 games and then is out for 6. That's Hydro. Bathtime makes a great point here. To be fair, Amondi, if we bought Maguire to have the same impact as Virgil van Dijk, do you think he got close to that? And we all know Maguire's had a hard time at the club. Most certainly. Guys, there's great comments coming through. Right now, Maguire is actually playing very good, says Jerry. But Maguire will always be clumsy. I had a good laugh during the summer when he bulldozed an Arsenal defender. At least it wasn't one of our own very own. This one is a classic line from We Deserve Better. He says, Evans is Poundland, Maguire is Audi, and Varane is
Harrods.
And don't forget to like and subscribe, guys, for Man United. Agenda. We are here most days of the week, and obviously that's from Bathtime, one of the regulars on the show. But Black Bolt saying here, there's obviously a personal issue going on between Eric Ten Hag and Varane. Is that what it is then? Is this what we're saying here? Personal issue between the two?
No comment. I have no comment to make. I don't know. I would like to think there isn't.
I think, Mr. B, that Rafael Varane, he's a man of a lot more tact and nous than some of the other players that have fallen foul of Eric Ten Hag. And if it wasn't like that, he would have had the sense to ensure that he patched that up so that he stayed in good standing, even if the ultimate end goal was him moving on. So I don't believe that.
Okay. Stephanie Grish is saying it's 12 likes and bigging up everyone on the panel as well. Bathtime saying here, if I were Varane, I'd still be salty about the treatment of Ronaldo and the comments about taking off Casemiro to play football. Look, these are 2 of his former teammates, aren't they, at Real Madrid? Maybe he's got an issue. Maybe he's not happy in Manchester. He does look like a guy who should be sitting on a beach on the Mediterranean after training or something. He had a great career. Where's the hunger? That's my question. Jaylee saying here, Eric Ten Hag seems to fall out with a lot of players. Ronaldo, Sancho, Casemiro, and now Varane. The question mark about that. So yeah, this drama continues. 21 watching right now. Make sure you press the like button. Guys, if you're just tuning in, your thoughts on Varane. I mean, people been, saying he's injury prone, but they still rate him as a top class player. I disagree. I think he hasn't been Champions League Varane since he's been at the club. I think we deserve better. And I think I'm looking at impact players at centre-back like Liverpool. They brought in Virgil van Dijk. When you look in the past again, look at Thiago Silva. He's an old man. He's beautiful out there playing for Chelsea week in, week out. You know, he's 40 years old. And would you say Varane is one of the best centre-backs in the league? I would say this, based on what I'm seeing, forget the credentials, I think Saliba, I think Thiago Silva, I think Virgil van Dijk, I think Matip, I think Canute are all better than him. And I think even Harry Maguire, with his passing range, could be in consideration or in the same bracket as Varane, Champions League Varane right now. So I'm quite disappointed with what we're seeing from him. And that's why my point is I wouldn't be just too disappointed if he left the club. We save money, we get a younger player in based on the staff that are coming in to the club and the new direction we're going in, where we're getting an ideal player, which would be under 25, young, like the guy from Nice, who's been on our radar, or other players that have been on our radar before that don't fit that 30-year-old bill, a 30-year-old player bill, and with a great Champions League record or anything like that. It means nothing, as it's been proven since he's been to the club. 7-0. I mean, come on, guys.
On Monday, can I ask a question to you? You compared Raphael Varane to all these long list of players like Saliba, etc. You have to still take your 4 defenders that are currently available, that are not injured, and are you telling me that Johnny Evans and Victor Lindelof are both above Raphael Varane at this juncture?
No, I'm saying Varane for his Champions League accolades, which you guys
but they don't.
I named 5 players in the Premiership, just random, who I think are playing better than him, and I'd rather have in my team at the moment.
But they're not available to us. We have 4 defenders that we can select from. We have
Fair
4
enough.
defenders that need to fill 2 spots. Raphael Varane, Harry Maguire, Lindelof, and Evans.
Here we go. So the Dutch boy at Spurs is looking good, says bath time. Stephanie Griffith is saying Varane doesn't look too comfortable on the ball at all this season. I agree. His name's Van der Veen. Been brilliant, but I just think he's just done his hamstring for a few months, so that's not very good. That's one, Andrew. Lovely at defending his box and wide areas. Martinez, we need him back ASAP. That's from Hydro. He's had impact, more impact, I believe, than Varane Varane. He's got that leggy stride, a bit like Rudiger and Upper Meccano. That I always like in defenders. Really difficult to play against. Talking about the Spurs guy, very quick. Spurs losing him and Madison at the same time, absolutely devastating. And form is temporary, class is permanent. Varane is class. Keep him. Compared to our other centre-backs, Varane is head and shoulders above them. Matthew Bassett, I think he just had the final word. Varane is missing his defensive partner in the butcher. Guys, it's been a great show. Obviously, we discussed the takeover. Rebel, just to summarise on that before we go off. And you were going to say something about Scott McTominay's international form, comparing it to the great king. Can't hear if we can turn it up.
Oh, my apologies. I pressed the mute button. I did the Mr. B on things. But yes, Scott McTominay is on the verge of matching a record set by the legendary Dennis Law following his recent goal-scoring exploits. That's right, Scott McTominay goal-scoring exploits at international level for Scotland. So obviously that's something that we at the Man United agenda would have to keep an eye on, because we do like to mark the accolades of our players. And the other bit of breaking news, after all this time, the Glazer family have finally sanctioned the arrival of Wesley Sneijder to Manchester United Football Club.
Good one. Almost got me there. Big up. Mr. B, any final words from you? I mean, have you changed your opinion on anything? Are you still frustrated about the deal?
Don't be stupid. My frustrations are going to remain the same. And I'm so glad I'm so glad you're back. I'm so glad you're back. But boy, you got my blood boiling, man. I tried to keep it nice and civilized, and I don't want to cuss because Solo's always moaning at me, and the newcomer done hit me with evidence better than Varane. And I know you're a defender by trade on Monday. I get it, but I just don't see what you see, man. I just don't see it.
Sorry, can I point out we hooked one?
Put the Jaws music on. He's bitten. All right, guys, that's enough from now. There's 20 watching. Thanks again for that. From Mr. B, from Rebel, myself, and thanks to everyone in the comments for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow, no doubt about it, because obviously we're building up now for the Premiership, and we're playing Everton, the team that have been docked points. Are we going to deck them again and to give them another punching up and thing. It's gonna be interesting, and we will be doing a preview coming up very soon.
It's
By the way, I was
today
watching
week.
Braithwaite, their centre back for the under-21s earlier. He looks nice and cool on the ball. Everton.
Who's
coming
that?
up.
Braithwaite.
Yeah.
It's today week,
Okay.
by the way, that Everton game is. So we have 7 days to wait before Manchester United take the field again.
So,
You know what? I'd rather not come on. I swear. If you two are going to be talking nonsense in my ears, I will. I won't even bother turn up. You two will kill me. You two will kill me. No.
The rubber duck sit lord is back tomorrow anyway, I think.
oh,
Who?
good.
The rubber duck sit lord.
Rubber ducky. That's bath time with Vaughan. No, Dora, big up to Dora as well. She was on yesterday, representing again. Let's chew up those toffees, says Stephanie Griffiths. Yes, without rotting our teeth. Hopefully they don't do that. And great show, lads. Big up. I've never seen We Deserve Bet before, but you're a top guy. I love your comments, especially that joke you made about Audi and what's his name, Harrods, comparing players and
Hartford's.
Braithwaite. Bramwaite, not Braithwaite. Omondi. Okay.
I thought it was Braithwaite. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay. A lot of these players are impressing me, aren't from
Yeah, it doesn't take much to impress you one day. Don't worry, man. Your bar's very, very low, bro.
Oh,
guys. We got to stop the plug did that in defence, and we've tried our best to solve it. I hope the manager. We're still behind the manager, aren't we? With this decision making. You don't think he's making a big boo-boo here with Varane or anything. There must be something going on, as you were saying there, behind the scenes. But hopefully the manager's got this all locked down and gets the eye of the tiger back in with Varane, especially. Not that he ever had it. A great show, says Stephanie Griffiths. Rebel?
can I just make a quick shout out in the Man United Agenda Fantasy Football League, leading the line currently
Rebel.
Netflix and
Rebel.
Chilwell. Raymond
Get
Lee.
lost. What are you in the top 20 now, Rebel? Are you in the top 24, Rebel? Yeah, I see that.
Have you got Varane on your side? No. All right. Can I just say this? Yeah, we're going to play away at Galatasaray in a couple of weeks. Remember, guys, I'm taking names. Everyone who tried to save Champions League Varane, this and that, he's a great player. Let's see how we get along when it really matters in the Champions League against Galatasaray. What a massive game that is. But from us at the Man United Agenda, thanks for everyone who's tuning in. Thanks for pressing the like button. We'll be back tomorrow at probably 9 o'clock later.